Hi there. My name is Alessandra, and I'm a student at Rutgers University in New Jersey. And today we're going to talk about the food system. Have you ever wondered how this chicken nugget or this ketchup with all of the ingredients in it get to you for lunch? What natural resources, people, and machines make that happen? And what are the impacts on the atmosphere, water, and ecosystem? These are some of the questions we can answer when we learn about the food system. A food system is the journey the foods we eat take to get from a farm to us. It includes all of the people, places, and natural resources like water and energy that are involved with each stage of the food's journey to our plate or our lunch tray. It also includes what happens to the energy and materials in our food once we throw it away. It turns out that how we throw it away actually really does matter to our planet, in particular, the climate system. Let's explore the model of a food system. But first, you need to know three important terms that we'll be using in this lesson: resources, matter, and systems. Resources are things like water to grow and wash crops, and for animals to drink. Also, electricity to power trucks and other machines on a farm or in a factory where food is made. Also, electricity to power refrigerators and freezers. Another example of resources are sunlight and nutrients, and even the workers who help grow and make food. They are also a resource. Can you think of a resource you are using right now? Maybe you have a pencil or a computer on your desk. The lights in your classroom are also using electricity, which uses resources like natural gas or solar energy. The next important term is matter. Simply put, matter is stuff. Everything and anything that takes up physical space and has mass is matter. Your desk, hair, sneakers, bananas, soccer balls, grass, birds, water, and air are some examples of matter. Last but not least is systems. Systems are things that have different parts that work together or interact to have their own function and characteristics. The system we are talking about today is the food system. In our model of a food system here, let's look first at producing. During this step, fruits and vegetables are grown and animals are raised. For fruits and vegetables, this happens on a farm or an orchard. For chicken, beef, pork, lamb, and dairy, this is a ranch or a dairy farm. For seafood like clams, shrimp, or fin fish like tuna, this takes place on a boat or at a seafood farm in the water. You might imagine that this stage takes a lot of resources, and you'd be correct. Have you ever tried to grow some of your own food? You probably noticed that bugs like to eat the things that you're trying to grow. Farmers use a lot of different resources to water the crops and for animals, to prevent bugs from eating their crops, and making sure the food is good quality. After production, there is harvesting. Harvesting is the activity of picking and collecting plants or of collecting animals and fish to be eaten. Next, food is brought to a factory, or what we call a processing facility. This is called the food processing stage. Some are not processed much at all. It may only need to be washed. But other foods need lots of processing. Think of foods like breakfast cereal or salad dressing. Those have a lot of ingredients, so making those things involves more processing at the factory. At these factories, food is packaged and labeled, and sometimes cold storage is needed for foods that need to be kept cold to be safe, like frozen pizza or ice cream. The next step in the food system is transporting food. Food is transported from where it is grown or produced to somewhere where people can buy it and bring it home, or bring it to a school to be made into cafeteria lunches for students. This stage where people purchase food is called the retail stage. Next is the preparation and cooking stage. This is a very important part of the food system. Some of you may enjoy cooking and preparing food at home, and that's really great. Next, of course, is consuming. That's probably the stage you know the best. It's the stage where we finally get to eat the food. And then, disposing. What do you think is happening at this stage? It could be donated, thrown in the trash, or composted. To really understand what the food system is, let's think about what you had for breakfast this morning. Think of all the ingredients that were in your breakfast. Each of those ingredients began its journey first on a farm, followed by being taken to a factory for processing. Next, it began its journey to get to a grocery store and then your plate. Let's say you had an apple as part of your breakfast. Where did that apple come from? Maybe your parents got it from the grocery store, but where did the grocery store get the apples from? The apples are grown on an apple farm, and then they're harvested by hand. Next, in a processing facility, the apple gets washed and coated with wax to keep them crisp. Then they are labeled with a sticker and then packaged into bags or boxes. After they are packaged, the apples may be transported thousands of miles by truck to your grocery store. That's where your parents or the school cafeteria bought the apples. Then the apples are brought home to you. I know, that's a lot of steps. Now let's think about all the people, machines, and natural resources that were involved in this process. There's the apple farmer, also the workers, those that package the apples, the truck drivers, workers at the grocery store, and you and your parents. That's a lot of people. As for the resources, there's the water, fertilizer, and insect spray that go into growing the apples, the fuel to power the trucks to transport them, and the factory where they are packaged or processed into applesauce or apple pie. When we talk about the food system, we're talking about all these activities, people, and resources involved in getting something like apples from an apple tree to your plate. The food system also includes what's happening to foods when we're done eating. This stage is called disposing. After the food is eaten, the waste or uneaten food is disposed of in different ways. It can be composted, or donated, or thrown into a landfill. Food, of course, is matter. It has nutrients and water. It takes up space. What happens to all that matter when it gets thrown away? Matter can change forms, but it cannot disappear. Any ideas? You'll be learning much more about this in the next video. Bye for now!